Employee absence is more than an empty desk. It is a significant cost to our business. It is estimated that 131 million days are lost due to sickness absences every year. This costs employers around £19 billion a year in sick pay and associated costs. Research suggests that employees take an average of 6 sickness days off each year, with the month of February seeing a peak. This has led to the 1st of February being labelled National Sick Day. As you can see, it is really important for employers to remain on top of sickness absence. Effective absence management involves finding a balance between providing support to help employees with health problems, encouraging them to stay in, and return to work faster, along with taking consistent, firm action against employees who tried to take advantage of company sick pay schemes. Colleagues can be absent for a host of reasons. Some are completely justified, and others not. In a nutshell, they fail to come to work for no good reason. They could be experiencing an emergency, like a burst water pipe at home, or have been in a car accident. They may be having some family issues, such as childcare, or a bereavement. They may even be sick, and not feeling well enough to come to work. So, how do you think you should deal with this? First things first, you shouldn't jump to conclusions. You must investigate each instance, and hear the employee's explanation for their absence before acting. Reasons given can range from the seriously unimpressive, like I drank too much alcohol last night, to the genuinely necessary, like caring for a dependent in an emergency. This is what we are going to review during this course, and how we can use attendance management to help. If you have not already done so, it would be helpful if you read through the attendance management policy, and familiarize yourself with the terms and steps within the process. During this course, we are going to look at a number of things, including the responsibilities of your colleagues, your responsibilities, and the steps that you need to take, both immediately, and when your colleague returns to work, along with some of the technical tasks that you will need to do. Let's start with your colleagues' responsibilities, so that you can ensure they are informed on what they need to do, in the instance they are taken ill, or are unable to come to work for whatever reason. Firstly, they need to call their service director. This should be on the first day that they are unable to attend work, and preferably before their shift starts. We put this as the first step, so that your service director can be made aware of all the absences across their service area, and can help to recognize trends across multiple teams. During this call, your service director will check if they are okay, and how serious the situation may be. They will also ask for some information about the absence, such as, how long they think they will be off for, or, if we can support them in any way. They will also ask if they have contacted a doctor, and if there are any scheduled appointments that they may need additional time away from work for, such as follow-up doctor's appointments, physiotherapy or counseling. At the end of the call, your service director will either ask the colleague to call you, or they will do that themselves. Okay, now it is your turn. As a manager, you play a very important role in effectively managing the absence of your colleagues. When a colleague calls to say they will not be coming in today, your initial reaction will make or break the conversation that you will have, and could impact your relationship with the colleague in the long run. Initially, you may feel let down, disappointed, and possibly jump into feeling stressed with what needs to be done in their absence. It is important that you don't show this to your colleague. Instead, show empathy and understanding for their situation. After all, showing your disappointment is not going to help the situation, or get them to come into work anyway. Ask them if they have been to see, or are planning to see a doctor. Your service director may have already asked this question, but it is a good question to ask, to show that you are trying to understand their situation. You could ask similar questions if they are facing an emergency at home, like learning about that burst water pipe, and asking if they have been able to reach a plumber. Once you have asked all of these questions, you can then move on to the operational stuff. Some of the things that you may want to find out are: there any meetings that need to be covered, cancelled or rescheduled? Are there any tasks that cannot wait until they return? When do they think they will be able to come back to work, or are there any amendments that we could make to help get them back to work faster? Such as, working from home, shorter days, or light duties. If they are off for a longer period of time, let's say a week or more, you should agree to check in with them to see how they are doing, and if there is anything that you can do to help. If they will be absent for more than 7 consecutive calendar days, they will need to provide a fit note from their GP. It is important that we treat our colleagues as humans, and for you to show your human side. Meaning, we all get sick, or may need time off work for other reasons from time to time. Always open this conversation with empathy, and show your own human side. Even if you believe they are faking it. Empathy first, followed by the transactional, or operational aspects second. Never accuse them of faking an illness, start asking for a second opinion, or tell them to come into work anyway. Think of the impact they may have on your wider team if they really are sick and contagious. After the call, you need to start to take care of your operation, with 3 main areas that you need to cover. Firstly, reassign any tasks, duties, or meetings that need to be taken care of. Secondly, make a note in your own calendar for when you agreed to check in with them. If you don't put it in your calendar, or make a note of it somewhere, you are likely to forget. Think about how that would make your colleague feel. Finally, you need to record the absence in People Manager. This is a really important step, as recording the correct information in People Manager is linked with your colleague's pay. The things you need to ensure you enter accurately are: the sickness period. This is either a full day, half day or part day. The start date for the absence. This should be today's date. The type of absence, this may be general sickness, or related to pregnancy, disability or work-related. And finally, the reason for the absence, which you can select from the drop-down list of different illness reasons. So, to recap, there may be any number of reasons why a colleague cannot make it to work. Some are justified and valid, others not so much. A colleague should be contacting their service director before contacting their line manager or supervisor. When you do get that call, make sure you show your human side, before jumping into the operational challenges, and be sure not to accuse them of faking it. Take care of your operation, make a note in your calendar of any follow-ups, or check-ins that you have agreed, and then record the absence in People Manager.